is, I wouldn't call it a progressive society. Somebody who would exploit women and who would exploit children for their own sexual gratification. So there are 4 points that I want to get through. The harmful effect that pornography can have on the consumers and those who are related to them, the actual subjects in the industry, the victims, society and victims of sexual crimes as a whole, and also children. So if you move quickly to those who are actually consuming pornography and those who are related to them, there's 4 stages, and it's proven that if you consume or you read or you look at pornography, that first of all you get addicted to it. It is like a drug, it is like cocaine, and then there's slowly like an escalation where you need harder and harder pornography to satisfy those sexual urges. No, thank you. Then thirdly, there's a desensitization, where if first of all you presented a shocking or repulsive pornographic image to an individual, they would then, after a while, they would eventually say that's acceptable and say that that was normal. And the final stage is where you actually have to act out what you see sexually, which leads to promiscuity, group sex, voyeurism, paedophilia, and rape. And there's also a knock-on effect to those who are related to someone who's reading pornographic material, because their sex drive is directed towards that pornographic material, and the affection and the intimacy will decline within that relationship, because let's face it, there's not much affection and intimacy going on in pornographic material. And then second of all, it's the actual subjects in the industry. Now the usual offence is, they're making loads of money, they're doing it by consent. But the fact is, a lot of individuals, and I'm sure our lady guest here will say, I went in it by choice, but not everybody goes into it by choice. A lot of women, and it usually is women, are pressurised into it for economic reasons, and they're very, very vulnerable, and should we be really living, no thank you, should we really living in a society that allows the exploitation of those. A lot of them will read ads that are purely for model agencies without knowing that there's actually nudity or sexual intercourse involved in the actual work. No thank you. And then there's also the practical problems of STDs and AIDS, whereas if you've got 30 or 40 sexual partners within a year, surely that increases the chance of STDs and AIDS spreading. And there's also drug addiction in the industry. To do with cocaine. Now, no thank you. Ms. McGarren. No thank you. Then turning to the third point of the damage that it can do to society and victims of sexual crimes. In 1985, the US Congress set up a commission called the Attorney General Commission to investigate exactly what was the real effect of pornography on society, and did it really encourage people to carry out sexual crimes, and found that there was a definite causal relationship between the increase of sexual crimes and violent behaviour towards women, that there was a spread of the rape myth such that women like to be dominated and really like to be forced into having sex, and that when they say no, they really mean yes. And then a second offence, no thank you, maybe that, these individuals that carry out these type of crimes, they're unstable in the first place. And if we accept that rather poor defence, we'd say, okay, well maybe they are unstable in the first place, but surely you wouldn't want anything to trigger that, and surely we want to cut down the most on anything that might trigger a violent reaction. I'll take you, Mr. Purcell.
Is it not more important that we catch these people before they see this material? Is it not more important that we put facilities and resources into catching them before they trigger? Not stopping the material that triggers a small percentage of the population.
Mr. Purcell, catching them doing what? You can't criminalise suspicion. They have to commit something before you catch them. You can't just go up and arrest them and say, well, we suspect that you catch them stable. So we're going to arrest you. And this is from the side that's proposing democracy and progression. Well, surely that's going straight back to the Victorian age. We're just going to start arresting people randomly.
Ms. McGarren.